Hi, everybody. It's Leo Brown. I am on here, evidenced by the caption in the photo, to talk about mass shootings. I know that this is kind of well, I won't say it's odd because I've actually talked about mass shootings before, but I don't like to. Well, that's not even true. Let me not even say that. I try not to discuss things like this, but it has to be talked about. And for those of you who are enjoying my content, if you like what you hear and see, give it a thumbs up. That way I'm good and I'm great in the algorithm. Most of all, leave your comments. If you want to, you're more than welcome to subscribe. If you like a one-on-one intuitive session with me, a mediumship session with me, you can go to my website, psychically.com, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about mass shootings. So for me, the mass shooting that I remember, for me, is Columbine. Columbine High School. It took place in, I believe, Colorado, and it was in 1999. I remember it because I was in high school. I was in my junior year of high school. I was about to graduate, and my family and I were moving at the time from Virginia to the St. Louis area. And I just remember just seeing people climbing out of the window and people being bloody and seeing the funerals being live streamed on TV at the time. And of course, there's been so many since then. I mean, we've had shootings in movie theaters. We've had shootings in grocery stores. We've had shootings in parks. We've had nowhere is safe. And recently we've had Uvalde and we've had Buffalo. My heart goes out to those people affected of not only in Buffalo, but in Uvalde. And there's something about Uvalde. I just couldn't get the children out of my head. I still can't. You know, um, I watched some of the testimony that some of the parents did in Congress, and I saw some of Matthew McConaughey's uh, plea during the White House uh, and press conference. And Matthew McConaughey is a Uvalde native. He's from Uvalde, Texas. And I hate the fact that we become so desensitized to this. Because what we don't understand is that just because it's not affecting you now doesn't mean it won't affect you later. All right. Just because, oh, well, I don't live in Texas, or I don't have kids, or, I don't live in New York, I don't live in East Buffalo. Just because it doesn't affect you doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. Okay. That's something that we as people really have to get rid of. We do. We have to get rid of that. And granted, I think it's great that the parameters, I think, are starting to slowly shift. But at the same token in time, it's like, does it really mean anything? Will it foster change? Because my thing is, what the fuck do you need with an AR-15? What do you need with an AR-15 assault rifle? What, like, and here's what people don't understand. Assault rifles are meant to kill people. Those are military grade rifles, okay? Those are not things where you can give somebody a flesh wound and they're good. No, those things are meant to cause inevitable harm to someone. We saw it with Sandy Hook. And that's the thing that gets me. We see this all the time and we become so desensitized to it. And it's sad to me. And people, well, Congress, they're not going to do anything. Oh, they forgot about When Uvalde happened, they forgot about the people in Buffalo. First of all, I'm gonna really need people to stop. And I understand it because I'm a black person. I'm a black man in America. I'm a black gay man in America. Okay, but I'm black first before anything. I understand you got people out here making it about race and oh, it's because they were black. And now, in that sense, in the Buffalo murder, because I'm not going to call it a mass shooting, that man murdered people. That man deliberately went to a supermarket in a predominantly black, brown neighborhood in East Buffalo, New York, and murdered those people. Okay. Same thing with Uvalde. Uvalde was brown on brown. So, and I understand that race does matter. Let me make that very clear. It does. But for me, my focus is children have died. You have a family of 4 who no longer have a mother or a father because the father passed away thanks to broken heart syndrome. He had a massive heart attack. And the mother, she died shielding her students from the shooter. And then we want to go into he was mentally ill. Oh, he was a bully. Bullshit. I have depression. I have been bullied. I've been a bully. And that's in a later video, trust and believe, because I will be talking about that. Okay? But you don't see me shooting up in school. Now, and I'm not saying that mental health doesn't account. It does. But my thing is this. If you want to make it always about mental health, then, I don't know, why don't you make it where the first 2 years of a 4-year, so you can get your degree, or an 8-year, maybe the first 2 to 4 years of college for things like psychology, things of that nature, make it free, make it affordable, make it attainable. You know what I'm saying? Give them classes, let them have outlets, pay the therapists what they're worth. That's a start. And then when it comes to guns, and I'm so sick of people, they trying to take our guns away. They trying to take our guns. First of all, don't nobody want your goddamn guns. And yes, I'm cussing on here because I'm mad as hell. I'm very upset about this. Nobody wants your guns. No, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pro-gun. I am. But I am also pro-common sense, and I am also pro-gun control. Okay? I know good and fuck well, I don't need an AR-15. I don't. What would I do with it? What? And if I were to use said weapon, I would think, I don't know, I would need training, I would need a background check, I would need something that gives me the authority to handle said weapon. You do it in the military, why won't you do it here? You see? Why won't you do it in certain states? And then you have, politicians who are like, well, we want to make it easier for people to conceal and carry. And you wonder why crime has skyrocketed, Governor Abbott. I'm talking to you. You know what I mean? But it's just sad. Because here's the thing. People feel so unsafe. People are unwell. People are not happy. We just went through we're coming up on 3 years of this pandemic, which is not over. And people are still going through it. People are still wondering, with inflation and the gas prices, and that's a whole other show. I'm gonna get into that too. But people are still wondering how they're gonna make it, how they're gonna put food on their table, things of that nature, right? And then you have this, and it's been every day for the past, 2 weeks? We've had a mass shooting every day. So why don't we follow our neighboring states, or excuse me, our neighboring countries? Why don't we follow Canada and Scotland and the UK? And Scotland is in the UK, excuse me. But why don't we follow the UK? Why don't we follow Canada and follow their example and just have, not saying that we're gonna take your guns away, but you have stricter gun laws. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't want some willy-nilly fucking person who has no authority to use a gun grabbing one. I just, even me, that's no different than me going, and believe me, I live in Texas. I live in Houston. I live 5 minutes from a gun shop, several gun shops. And I could walk in and get a gun. But I know me, I know my temperament. I'd rather use my fist or my mouth or my mind to get out of a situation rather than using a gun, because here's the thing. Something that you can use in 5 seconds could cost you 50 years of your life. And I don't want that. And I don't want that kind of blood on my hands. Okay, we all have blood on our hands, but I don't want that kind. So I just don't understand why we're not. I think it's good that people are testifying, and you have Matthew McConaughey pleading, but I also feel like we've become kind of restless with it, or not restless, desensitized to it. It's like, oh, another day. No, 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 no. This is why I often say to people, whether you know it or not. Now, if you choose not to vote, that's your right. You have the right to choose not to vote, okay? But this is why voting matters. This is why it matters, especially on the local level. Because guess what, people? You and I pay their taxes. We choose these people. We do, whether we know it or not. So even if you don't vote for the president, fine. But please vote for the right congressmen and congresswomen and representatives for your state. Make your voice heard, because those people's lives, and I mean from Columbine on down, no reason to be lost. No reason. And I just, it makes me angry. It makes me sad. It makes me fearful of the world. It makes me not want to have children. This is one of the reasons why I don't want to have kids, because I don't want to bring my kids up in this world, in a world where they can't even go out. And mind you, let's be all the way real here. America has never been great, contrary to what we think. Oh, it was great in the 50s. Well, in the 50s, people of color couldn't even walk on the street. Women couldn't even, have a credit card or a bank account, without a man. So it wasn't that great. Oh, it was great in the 20s. No, you had Jim Crow and, things of that nature, and lynchings, and, for Blacks and Latinos, and, gay people were sent to conversion therapies or either killed and, burned and things. So no, America's never been great. Let's get that utopian America fantasy thing. Let's delete that. And also for my African people, listen, I know y'all want a utopian African dream like the Lion King, where you Simba and you take the Pride Rock back. But baby, let that shit go. Let listen. Stop letting these fucking con artists like Dr. Umar and Brother Polite and what's the other dude, Tariq Nasheed, and all them motherfuckers that don't know what the fuck they're talking about, telling you, oh, hold your vote in Diddy, and even though I would do some dirty things to Diddy, but that's beside the point. But the point is, stop letting people that have no clue of what you're dealing with, that are way beyond your scope, tell you how to live your life and tell you how to think. Think for yourself, research, read, please read. And here's the thing, and I'm going on a tangent, I sure am. Here's the thing. At one point in time, you couldn't read, we couldn't read. I'm talking directly to my people of color. We could not read, and I mean Black, Asian, Latino, all of us. We could not, we didn't have the basic rights that our white counterparts have and have had for centuries. We did not have that, okay? And I shouldn't say just white people, because it wasn't just white folks, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. But the point is, you can read. You can have, Google is nothing but a big ass index. If you want to know something, Google it. Pick up a book. It won't kill you. I might, but it won't. Please do something, okay? Because this is just ridiculous. And I really do feel, dare I say, I feel somewhat And this may sound kind of silly for me to say, but I feel somewhat responsible for this. In a way, mind you, I didn't pull the trigger. No, mind you, I didn't know any of those children. I didn't know anybody in Buffalo. I knew no one in Sandy Hook. But the point I'm trying to make is by me not, by standing idly by and just going, oh well, and bless the Lord and keep on going. What does that do? We have to create change. We have to talk about it. That's the only way we can heal it. That's the only way we can foster change. We have to make our voices heard. That's why I'm going back to what I was saying earlier. That's why voting matters. I know a lot of us think that our vote does not matter. A lot of us think that. And it's not just Black people, it's people across the door, because it's already, I get that part. But trust me when I tell you, at least you did something. And something's better than doing a hell of a lot of nothing. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I like I said, I just feel bad for these people. I mean, even in Parkland, like Parkland, and there's been so many, there's been so many mass shootings that I can't even keep up with them. Like, it's impossible. There were what? Like 3 over the weekend. There was one in Philadelphia. There was one in Chicago. Like, there's been so many. And like I said, this affects, it infects and affects everybody. That's what people don't get. Just because you are rich and just because you are one of the 1%ers and you're not in a certain tax bracket and you don't live in a certain zip code, it doesn't mean it doesn't affect you. It does. Because whether that was your daughter or your aunt or your grandmother or your friend or your girlfriend or your life partner or anybody that you loved and cared about, and that happened, then what would you do? It's amazing how we get on the bandwagon when it affects us, i.e. Nancy Reagan, with her fucking, pterodactyl of a husband, when he got Alzheimer's. Then she wanted Alzheimer's research. That's a whole nother show. Maybe the things I could tell you about that throat go anyway. But that's my point. We can't get lax about this. Look at Pulse. That's another one. I knew people that died in Pulse. And Pulse shook me to my core. Pulse really shook me. Especially, especially when I heard about the guy, he was texting his mother and he was telling his mother, come and get me. There's a shooter in the club. And mind you, to be quite honest, this is one of the reasons why I don't really go out as much. Because you live in fear. And granted, I know you shouldn't, the old new age thing, don't live in fear, but think about it. How can you not? How can you not have a little hesitation and trepidation? And just remembering that young man saying to his mother, he's gonna come and get me, and he passed. Do we want another Pulse? Because that can happen anywhere. And we did nothing. We did the little thing and, and put the pictures up of the survivors. But that's the thing. Even those who survive, look at the grief they go through. Look at the guilt they go through. Look at all of that. It's not just the wounds. It's the guilt. It's the, I should have done something. And what people don't get is that with Uvalde and with Buffalo, people who survived mass shootings are reliving this all over again. That's and that's even worse. That's even worse. And that's where you have mental health and things like that coming into play. I don't know. But anyway, I'm off my soapbox. I just wanted to say something about that because it's been on my heart for the past couple of weeks to say something about this. And I feel like anything has to be done because the way this country is moving, we are not moving in the right direction, in my opinion. So enough about what I think. I want to know what you think. And we can agree to disagree on my channel. I don't mind. I really don't. I think agreeing to disagree is fair, but keep it civil. Okay? Don't be out of pocket, because I will block you, or better yet, I will cuss your ass out. I have no problem, getting in on the keyboard if I have to. So be nice in the comments. And until next time, my lovely sugar bears, I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. All right.